All right, all yours, Prithvi.
Okay, thanks, and welcome everyone for our weekly session. So, before we start, I think let's put into practice what we have learned in the past, right? Let's start with belly breathing. So, try to sit erect, and I'll be using Hindi and English today because of kids from India would be joining in. So I'll make sure that both languages are represented. So सीधे होके बैठे बिल्कुल and relaxed, not tensed, and take a deep breath in. When you take a breath in, your belly should go out, and when you breathe out, your belly should go in. Just relax. And throughout this session, I encourage you to keep on doing this belly breathing. So when you are breathing in, belly out, breathing out, belly in. For the entire session, we'll do that, right? So let's take 5 of those. Okay, so I will do a recap of some of the key concepts, the things that we have covered in the last sessions. So first concept is about attention itself. So how much attention do we have? कितना attention हमारे पास है? उसका एक test, there's a test for that, and I'll again just to make sure everybody remembers that. So put your hands in front, everyone, and then look at the back of your fingers. Pay attention to your back of your fingers. I hope you can do it very, very easily. Easy to do that. And then take the hands to the side so that both the hands are visible in your peripheral vision. Just stop when both are just visible. You are seeing in front. You are not alternating. You are seeing in front, but both the hands are visible. Now pay attention to the top of your head at the same time, both the toes. Hold it there. Both hands, top head, both the toes. 5 things at the same time. Just notice if you're having difficulty in doing this. Just put your hand down. So this is a self exercise for you to self check how much your capacity to pay attention is. So we have about 127 bits of information per second that our brain can process. So let's say it is 127 points. So 120 points मान लीजिए है हमारे पास. And then if you are listening to somebody talking, a conversation, it takes 60 points. So 60 points chala jata hai. So now if there are 2 people talking to you, 60 plus 60, 120, that means your whole attention is gone. Nothing else is left, right? So out of that 120, how much is available? If you are having difficulty in actually paying attention to 5 things, that means we need to do exercise to get your attention a little bit more focused. Okay, so and what we want to learn is how do we take the entire 127 and put it in focused thinking, which is basically the focused problem solving, the good thinking that we say in MindGym, which actually uses the task positive network in our brain, right? So we're just recapping some of the key concepts. So we have 2 networks in our brain. One is called the task positive network, which we use for focused problem solving. So let me just recap that also. Sorry, I was going the wrong way, sorry. Yeah. So focused attention is basically you go from one thought to other thought to other thought and you come with a solution. So in neuroscience, when you do this type of thinking, you are engaging the task positive network of your brain. This is the type of thinking that everyone gets. Normally you use it to get paid, right? You're supposed to do something in your job, make presentation, or you solve a problem, maths problem, or you solve a problem in your professional field, where you actually go from one thought to other thought in a structured way, using the tools that you have learned in college or anyone else to solve something. So we want to make sure that all our 120 points of attention is available for this. But what happens is, there's some interesting thing happens, that there is another type of thinking called, and that is through a network in our brain called default mode network, or DMN. So DMN network, what it does is it actually gives thoughts which are from the past and future, and they are random, they are not under our control. So when you are solving a maths problem, that thought is under your control, TPN. When you are daydreaming, those thoughts are not under your control. So these thoughts take you from past and future, and more important thing is that they consume a big part of that 127 bits that you have. So you have lesser to do anything else, and it is called default mode network. I really encourage you to Google this and find more about this, because last 10 years there has been a lot of advancement, especially in the Yale University, where a lot of papers have been published around it. And they have established this fact that when default mode network starts activating, it shuts down your task positive network. So it is either this or that, right? And then because of this, as I say, that what you do is, if you want to solve a problem, like you can see this here, this is my attention, and my attention actually wanted to solve a maths problem. It wanted to go from the problem from one step to other step and come up solution. And suddenly the default mode network thought comes and it hijacks my attention. So I leave it, I come here, and it leaves me somewhere else, and I end up solving some other problem. Right? So I end up doing something different, and totally not under my control, right? So this is the quick recap of the concept about DMN, TPN, and then how we have to regain our attention. So now the question is that how can we help address these distractions, right? And I think to make it really visual, and to actually make sure that and the kids love it, I think. That's the feedback that I've got from kids. Can you see my screen also? No? Right, I have to stop sharing, I think, right? Now you can see me? Yeah, good. So we're saying this is our attention. So attention has a tendency of grabbing onto the default mode network. So it keeps on doing this. And what we do is that we trick our attention by introducing an anchor and ask the attention to grab the anchor, and it is very good in grabbing. So it grabs the anchor, and then obviously when the default mode network thing comes, it goes and again back to the distraction, but we again show him the anchor, and again the attention comes here. So it keeps on doing like this and this and this. 20 minutes a day, or 20 minutes in a session is almost like a gym, and you do these push-ups, and then one day the attention suddenly is strong enough that it can let go any of the thoughts quite easy, right? And that is what we are teaching to our attention, that outside the exercise. So once you are in a daily life, if you see a distraction, you can let it go. See a distraction, let it go. A distraction may be because of default mode network. It can be because of your boss scolded at you, or your colleagues made you jealous. You can let it go and keep on focus on your work. So that is the basic recap. But today's focus was around another dimension, which was around sensation and emotion. So I'll just cover that piece now. So before I go to the sensation and emotions, we are at 15 minutes. I just open it up. Anybody has any questions about this? Kids from India or anybody else from here, just unmute your phone. We'll take 2 of them and ask a question regarding this concept. Okay. So looks like we are good.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Right. So now we add another dimension to this trick. So this trick about letting go of thoughts, I think it is pretty clear. Now what happens is, what if you are not able to do it? Because we are learning now, right? So it'll take a bit of time before we become experts in letting go of this of these distractions. So if we are not able to do it, so there is a mechanism that happens. The thoughts, they actually secrete neurochemicals that goes into our bloodstream, and then the thoughts and then those chemicals cause a pattern of sensations in our body, and those sensations, a bundle of the sensations is something that we interpret as emotions. So when I am angry, I have a flushing of the face, my ears goes red, there's a tingling in this area, my heart beats faster, there's a heated feeling in the heart area, and that's what I understand as anger. Right? Similarly, we have different patterns for different type of emotions. But the key thing is at the ground level, all emotions have a pattern of sensations that appear in our body. And the second trick that we are going to learn today is that if we are able to pay our attention to those sensations, right, which can evolve to be a part of a full-fledged emotions, because the sensations start gradually and then it actually becomes big. So if we are looking at the sensations without judging them at all, right? So sensations will rise and then they will go away. And so with that, if we can do that, you are indirectly enabling the muscles of not getting engaged to the distraction. So think about it, the distractions came, the thought came. If you are able to let it go, very good, then in that case, nothing happens. If you are not able to let it go, it creates sensations. You let go the sensations, right? So you get two chances to this to score a goal. First chance to score a goal is here, and the second chance to score a goal is watching the sensations, right? And between these two chances, hopefully you score the goal of letting it go, right? And that way, that will be still, your attention will still be not entangled into the distraction or the emotions, and you can go on with your life being in the present. So that is the concept. So I'll request Anisha to take us through a 5 minutes exercise to just to show exactly how do we want to do watch the sensations and let them go.
Sure. Okay, so let's gently close our eyes. Relax your jaw, your shoulders. And now bring your attention to the top of the head. Try to see if there are any sensations at the top of the head. Imagine a small circle right on the top of the head. See if you can feel any tingling, any throbbing. Now let's bring the attention down to the face, forehead, eyes, nose, cheeks, area below the nose, chin. Just observe these sensations. Do not have any judgment of, oh, this is good, this I don't like. There might be pain, it might be too hot. So all these sensations you should be able to feel. Let's go down our neck, Let's go towards the right shoulder. See if there is any tightness, any pain or tingling. Go down your right upper arm. See if you can find any sensations. Elbow, lower arm, your hands, the palms, back of the hands, and each one of the fingers. Now let's go towards the left shoulder. Try to scan part by part each of the area I'm talking about, all of the area of the upper arm, for example, and lower arm. And see if you can find any sensations, any tingling, any throbbing, any pain, gross sensations or subtle, good or bad, and just observe them without any judgment. So let's go down the left upper arm, elbow, left lower arm, your hands, the back of the hand, the palm, each of the fingers. Now bring your attention to the chest area. See if you can feel any warmth, any tingling. Scan the entire chest area. Go down to the pelvic area, abdomen. Can you feel any tightness? Just observe. Now we go down to the right leg, the right thigh, the knees. Maybe they're folded and there's some pain. The lower leg, the right foot, the top, the heels, each one of the toes. Coming down, coming to the left leg. Let's scan that. Let's go over the left thigh, the knees, the left leg, lower leg, the foot, the top, the heels, each one of the toes. If you give enough attention, you'll be able to find some tingling. Coming back to the hips area, scan that for any sensation, maybe some contact where you're sitting. Can you feel some sensation there? And bringing it up to the lower back. Scan it part by part. See if you can find any sensation, any pain, any throbbing. And just observe. Bring it up to the upper back. Give some attention to your spine area. Your shoulders. Bring it up the neck, the back of the neck. And now bring your attention to the head. the back of the head, the side, and then bring it back to the top of the head where you started. So this is the basic technique, and you can basically do this scan few times when you're sitting down. You can do it once you've done it a couple times, you can do it at a quicker pace. But this is a good exercise, like Prithvi said, to observe your sensation. So this is building your muscle to catch sensations quickly. So in case if you are in a real-time situation where you are getting very angry and you couldn't catch the thought, but you can see your sensation. Your breath is going faster, face is flushing, so you can catch those. And if you observe it just without any judgment, it will slowly dissolve. And you slowly get better at this. And you can apply it in daily life. Hopefully that was helpful. Prithvi, over to you.
Lisa, yeah. So I think the key point here is you get 2 chances to score the goal. And I'm using the metaphors for the kids here. आपके पास 2 गोल करने के 2 chances हैं. पहली बार अपने thought को, distraction को देख के उसको let go करना. अगर नहीं देख पाए, thought ने एक sensation, emotion start कर दिया है, emotion sensation से start होता है, तो sensation को देख के उसको let go कर दिया. So if you have these 2 tricks, if you're two tricks in your back pocket, इनको use कीजिए, then you can be, your attention will become more and more free, right? So we want a free attention, which is gives us the full 127 points for something that we want to use. So this is the sensation technique that we wanted to share today. What we will do is we should again do a quick revise of anchor technique. So I'll request either Purnima or Anisha, if you could just put the anchoring 13 minutes, the anchoring meditation technique. And I request everyone to just sit in a relaxed way and just follow this guided meditation, which actually is based on that anchor technique we just showed to the puppet show. So get your focus back into an anchor. So Purnima or Anisha, if you can just put it up.
Welcome to the MindGym guided meditation. Let us start with first exploring what exactly are we trying to do before starting on the details about the meditation technique. We will try to build up the capacity to let go of thoughts by continuously bringing our attention back on an anchor. As the attention favors the anchor, it automatically practices letting go from distracting thoughts. There are many kinds of anchors that can be used in this technique. In MindGym, we will use breath as an anchor. Breath is the simplest and most used anchor, also taught by the Buddha. Breath is always with us. It's real. and bringing our attention to it brings us to the present moment. Let us perform a couple-minute prep before starting. You can sit cross-legged on a mat, or you can sit on a chair. Be aware of your bottoms before you start and balance your weight evenly. Try to keep your back as straight as possible, but not tense. Gently close your eyes. Before you start, think about an image that triggers a natural outpouring of love. Image of pets or kids when they were little is usually very effective. Think of a time when you were a small kid and you were taken care of. Try to experience the feeling of I'm taken care of and hence nothing to worry about. Relax and let go of the tension in the jaw, in the shoulders, and any other place in the body that feels tight. Now we will go into belly breathing, which increases our capacity of not getting distracted by thoughts. With longer practice, it may also reduce the number of thoughts generated in our mind. The technique is quite simple. Make sure your belly goes up when you breathe in, and it goes in when you breathe out. This is different from chest breathing, where the chest goes out and the belly goes in when we breathe in, and the chest goes in and belly out when we breathe out. Focus on the belly as you breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, belly out. Breathe out, belly in. Do it a few times. Now, put your attention on the sensations in your back, specifically around your spine. Move the attention from the bottom of the spine to your neck and back down. Now, synchronize this up and down movement with belly breathing. Move the attention up slowly as you breathe in, and move it down along the back as you breathe out. This will help further quiet our active mind. Let us repeat this a few times. Attention up your spine slowly as you breathe in, and move it down along the back as you breathe out. that your mind has calmed down and the attention is starting to get focused, we will move into the meditation. Bring your attention to the breath. You don't need to breathe differently, just the normal belly breath. Watch when it enters the nostrils and comes out. Observe the warmth or the coldness. Watch the gap between the in and the out breath closely. Observe the sensations it creates below the nostrils and above the upper lip. We are using breath as an anchor in this technique. If your attention wanders into other thoughts, get it back to the breath whenever you become aware of the fact that you have wandered. We are trying to gently favor the breath. We don't want to judge ourselves or the thoughts that distracted us. We want to stay equanimous. If your attention does not wander, continue to watch the breath and the sensations it creates with more awareness. You may zone out or move into the gap between the breath and thoughts sometime during the practice. As soon as you realize you're in a zone, bring the attention back to the anchor. Keep your awareness on your breath. Be aware of your breath. Watch the warm breath in and out and the sensations it creates above the upper lip. Be aware of your breath. If your attention wanders into other thoughts, get it back to the breath whenever you realize. No need to judge the thoughts or the drifting away. We are practicing letting go of thoughts and coming back to the anchor. Continue to watch. Stay with the breath. Keep the awareness of your breath. Watch the warm breath in and out, and the sensation it creates above the upper lip. Keep your awareness. Continue to watch. Stay with the breath.
Continue to sit quietly for 30 more seconds. You can keep your eyes closed. Continue belly breaths. You should always give yourself time after meditation before you engage in normal activities. Otherwise, it can leave you a little bit jittery. So if you're doing a 10 minutes, 13 minutes meditation, give at least 30 to 45 seconds. If you're doing more, give a little bit more time. Okay, you can open eyes whenever you are comfortable. And now we are going to open it for any questions.
If anyone has any questions, please unmute yourself and turn on your video and you can ask away.
Questions or comments or anything that you want to share, anything is fine. It is just open conversations, informal.
I want to say that I gave up milk. I've been wanting to give up milk for a long time. I still eat yogurt also, not totally given up, but so I came down to 1 cup of coffee. Now with that coffee, I only have almond milk. So again, it was a craving, right, for that taste of coffee. So I was able to give it up.
So you could pick up the sensation of the craving and then just observe it neutrally, and because of that, it's basically subsided, right? So you didn't have to act on that sensation.
Yes, yes. And I realized I feel like I've got wings because everything is related with, everything is attached to a sensation, right? So I feel like if I observe it enough, then I'll be able to give it up. Not that I want to give up a lot of things, but if I want to, I could.
Yeah. The idea is to just watch the sensations passively, equanimously, without judging it, right? And then it subsides. The key thing is that if you watch it that way, instead of amplifying, it fades away. So that is a good observation. Any other observations? Sonali, you want to share any thoughts around the sensation technique, anything based on your experience?
Sure. So first of all, I noticed that there is certainly an increased sense of peace, right? After doing this exercise, the whole body seems much more, you can say, relaxed, or I personally feel at a very different level of calmness, throughout the body. So that itself gives us a very nice baseline to then start to engage in our regular life, right? So now that you're, at a solid foundation of equanimity and centeredness and balance, that we can now, from this point onwards, you get a lot of sort of self-confidence and, again, like a balanced perspective on anything that life may throw at you, right? So that's why I feel that this technique and similar techniques that bring you to that stage of balanced minds. We talk about two parts of minds, and I don't know, Prithvi, if you've shared this before, but there is the left brain. I'm sorry, not the mind, but the brain, the left brain and the right brain. And the sensation watching as well as the breath watching techniques can help us balance the two parts of the brains, which again, has a similar effect of balancing your mental chatter and your emotions in the body, right? So overall, it's a psychosomatic, both the mental as well as the physical combination of a technique that brings both the psychosomatic, aspects of our being into a good sense of balance. So just wanted to share that it's really a fantastic way to, lead your life with.
No, that is really great. Yeah, essentially, if we can be at the centered stage, right? You can be that is the starting of watching everything, the external influences that the world is throwing at you, right? So that is the foundation. Yeah. Thanks, Sonali.
Sure.
Anyone else has anything else to share? Jyoti, yes, go ahead. Jyoti, we cannot hear you.
Now, am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for the session. I'm feeling calm, like better. I could think of many things which I could not think before because it was a hectic day. I had sessions back to back, and it was like good to be like you like. And I have a question.
Sure.
So when you said let your thoughts go, so there are thoughts which come to our mind for very less time. So within a second, there are 4 to 5 thoughts. So mind lets some thoughts go and catches some thoughts, and on that thought, like following that thought, the mind creates new things.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of creations. For an example, when you asked me to focus on my breath, so yeah, I was there. I like when you said focus on your backbone, I could see that skeleton. But when you said go up and then down, so a mountain stream came up, like a mountain stream going up, and then it's going down, and then a lot of other things. So it connects. So how one can let these thoughts go? It's not that easy to do, right?
Oh, very good question, Jyoti, right? And you remember the puppet show, right? The key point of this puppet show is exactly that, right? It grabs onto one and other, and there are a lot of things that are created basically. So what we are trying to teach this is this technique of letting go. So if it is, the thing is that if you have many of these, at some point of time, you'll be able to let go many of these, even the small ones, right? So what happens here is, what you'll notice is that if you grab onto something like, for example, the stream or mountain, you can actually go probably 2 seconds, 3 seconds, or even 5 minutes in that stream, right? So when you start training, you can let it go within a fraction of a second. It will come and you'll drop it. It will come and you will drop it. Those thoughts are not going to stop, but your ability to not engage will increase. Does that make sense? Those thoughts will keep on coming, right? It takes a while for the thoughts, and there are other things how the thoughts will stop. You have to make your body more sattvic and those type of things. The other things that will be a later part of it, but you don't have to worry about it. So what you are increasing is the ability to let go the thoughts. See them faster, let go faster. That's it. So you'll be like an expert goalkeeper who's not allowing any goals to come in. Right? Tuck, 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 tuck.
Can I share one more analogy?
Sure.
Sometimes this analogy comes to me and it feels very effective, at least to me, is to imagine like you're sitting in a train, right? When you're sitting in a train, there are so many passengers around you, right? And they might be doing their own activities, and you might feel interested in some of the activities, in observing them, or, somebody's playing a card game, somebody is listening to some music, your attention gets diverted to all of those activities that other people are doing, right? Similar with your thoughts, that all these thoughts, treat them as passengers in this train. You cannot push them out, right? You cannot tell a passenger, oh, you're distracting me, you need to get off the train, right? No, they will travel with you. So your challenge is to keep your attention to whatever task you are focused on, right? So if you're reading a book, you want to, you look around, you see what other people are doing, then you come back to your book, right? And similarly, so the point here is that, that anchor that we have talked about in the meditations, either the breath anchor or a body sensation anchor or the whole body scan anchor, you have to train yourself, and that only comes through practice, right? It wouldn't come overnight. So through practice, you'll have to train yourself that all these other passengers in my train, which are, my thoughts, my emotions, they will stay there. But how can I disengage from them, right? Using any anchor that appeals to you, right? So just wanted to share that analogy.
It is a wonderful analogy. Yeah, we're going to use it more often.
Yeah, I love it, Sonali. Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does it answer your question, Jyoti? Yeah, good. Anyone else has any questions, comments? Good. Looks like.
I have a question. Hi.
Sure, guys.
How important is posture in meditation with respect to? Sometimes when you sit for a longer period of time, you tend to develop stiffness, and you feel that that's affecting your thought. So I know I don't practice meditation yet. This is my first session here, but I just wanted to understand. Maybe.
Yeah, so that is a good question. So I think the guidance and my personal experience is that you have to sit erect, right? Not stiff, but straight, right? So that is basically get your spinal cord straight. That is something that is advised. The fact that like in Indian meditation technique, they say that you can sit cross-legged and all. That is, according to me, not that important. But I think a erect spine is important, right? And then for those who needed a little bit of a back support, if you are sitting for an extended period of time, put a cushion near your lower back to support it. But this straight posture actually facilitates lesser mental activity. It actually also facilitates energy flow, which we don't cover usually in MindGym, but that works with the silence. So the short answer is yes, try to sit straight doing meditation. But if there are any issues, it is better to do meditation in any posture rather than not doing it.
You can sit on a chair if it is difficult to sit cross-legged for like 20 minutes at one stretch. You can also sit on a chair. Just keep your back straight. Just relax your shoulders, and that should work.
Okay, thank you.
Good. So looks like if there are no more questions, thanks a lot to everyone for joining us. And please remember, you have to continue the practice. Just knowing about the tricks is not going to help. You have to go and practice it. It's like a gym. Just knowing the fact that if I lift weights, I'll become strong is not going to make you strong. And so just knowing about these two tricks that we learned, letting go, going back to anchor and the sensations technique, scanning and letting go of sensations. Practice it, and then one day you'll say that you you have built up the mind muscle to let go all distractions in normal life. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. See you
Thank
next
you.
Sunday.
Excellent session. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.